begin. Sit down, breathe deep, open your heart. Queen Visionary Angela is about to start. Welcome, welcome, you're in the right place. Legacy is rising, purpose fills this space. Today we gather, today we shine, honoring lives that impact time. Legacy influencers standing tall, celebrating the call that lives in us all. Legacy, legacy, we're building what the future will see. So grab your drink and your notepad too. Get comfortable, this word is for you. For the next few moments, let wisdom flow. Queen Visionary Angela is ready to go. Welcome, welcome, let the stories unfold. Hearts on fire and visions bold. A chat with Queen Angela, setting the stage. Legacy lives from age to age. Welcome to Chat with Queen Visionary Angela, where we celebrate legacy, leadership, influence, and purpose. Now sit back, lean in, and enjoy the conversation.
Well, good afternoon, and welcome, everyone. Hello. I tell you, every chance I get to be on this side and get to be in the camera, I truly honor it. Today, I am excited because we are going to have an opportunity to meet one of the 26 amazing legacy influencer Hall of Fame inductees for 2026. I am so honored to be able to spotlight and to share these amazing individuals. Sometimes we do not get an opportunity to be recognized or to be spotlighted for the things that we do as we create legacy. As we have learned on this journey, that legacy is not what we are leaving behind, but it's what we create daily. So I'm excited and I am so happy to be in a space where I can show you some of these amazing individuals that are doing that on a daily basis. So I'm excited to introduce our guest for today. She is one of 26 amazing inductees that we are going to be spotlighting. Matter of fact, our Legacy Influencers magazine drops today, so you're going to get an opportunity to meet some of these amazing individuals inside of our magazine. But without further delay, I'm going to move on out the way and bring up our amazing guest for today. Some of you guys know her by JJ Winston. You know her as an author, an attorney, a judge, an advocate for mental health, an advocate for sickle cells, and she do so much. So I'm going to move out the way and allow her to come up because y'all know I can never do any justice. So I'm going to allow her to come up and share about herself. So let's welcome her. Let's give her a warm welcome as she comes inside the virtual studio.
Thank you so much, girl. This is so awesome. This is just so wonderful. And I thank you. I am so honored. I'm so honored. And this is amazing. That song was just wonderful. And I feel very privileged. Thank you for the opportunity.
Well, thank you. Thank you for all that you do. A lot of us, when we look at legacy, we think of it as something that we are leaving behind, but not understanding that legacy is that we are creating every day. People can grab hold to our legacy while we're yet still on this side, so that when we're not here, they will be able to help to keep that legacy going. So I'm excited. You definitely are creating a legacy with the amazing things that you're doing. I know I didn't give you any justice because I know you have your hands in a lot. So I want you to share with those that are tuned in and even those that are going to hear this as a replay, exactly how you are creating legacy and some of those things that you have your hands in.
Well, I am the author of the Independent series, The Anniversary. And for 19 years, I was the client rights officer for the Cuyahoga County Adams Board. That stands for Alcohol, Drug, and Mental Health Service Board, where I advocated and represented people who had mental health and drug and alcohol issues. And I am a licensed independent social worker and an attorney. And what I wanted to do was to take my education and my experience, and I wanted to use that to try to educate my community about mental health, in particular in the African American community. So I wrote this series about a family who lives in Cleveland. I got my Cleveland shirt on, y'all. See, where I live at, and what they go through because of family trauma, family secrets, and it really is my love letter to my community to try to, get people to be more aware and to educate themselves about mental health. Make sure people understand that mental health doesn't have a race, it doesn't have a socioeconomic status, it doesn't have a religion, and it hits our community equally. But it's how we respond to it, which is what I wanted to try to impact. And then I started to introduce a couple of other things that are important to me. One of them being sickle cell disease. I have a daughter who lives with sickle cell disease. Additionally, my dad, he passed away when I was 8 from sickle cell disease. And I lost an uncle, 2 aunts, and I have a number of nieces and nephews who are living with sickle cell disease. And I want people to know about it. A lot of people don't know about it. They don't know that there could be risks if you don't understand your genetics. I didn't. My husband had something called hemoglobin C. I was aware of sickle cell anemia, but I was not understanding that if you have an abnormal hemoglobin and you put it with my sickle cell trait, you can get a disease called hemoglobin SC, which is what my daughter has. And I just wanted to make sure people knew about that. And lastly, human trafficking. I live in Ohio. Ohio is very, very high in human trafficking. And so many of us are unaware of this. Many of us do not realize the risk of it. And I again wanted to use my knowledge base to educate my community. So that's what I try to do. So I think I'm doing it. I'm hoping I'm doing it.
Well, you definitely have your hands in a lot and in some amazing things. I can relate to a couple of those things that you have your hands in. I also advocate for mental health in the capacity I can because I suffer from mental illness. I have been diagnosed with depression and PTSD. So that's something that I am currently living with. And I tell people all the time, I used to be scared to talk about it because of the stigmas and the labels that people put on it. But I talk about it now because I want people to know that you can function, you can live a normal life, you can be active, you can do all of the amazing things that you see me doing. Even living with that disorder, that illness, if you do the work, if you do the things that are necessary. Is it easy? No. But you have to do the work, and you have to be willing to do the work and willing to get the help that you need. Because when I didn't know what it was, people just pushed it off at, oh, she just like that, she just straightforward, she just, no, I had mood swings, I was moody, I was rude, a lot of things, and people just brushed it off as, that's just how she is. No, that's not how I should be.
Right.
So let's address the issue. So when I found out that I had these issues, I did the work. I went to counseling, and I learned some of the red flags, some of the triggers, some of the things that you can recognize. And hey, when I feel the depression coming on, when I feel the symptoms, I know I can pick up that phone. I can call my sister. I can talk to my sister, and she gonna tell me, "Hey, get out the house, get off that computer, go out and get you some sunlight." And I got different people that I can talk to. But I also learned that, hey, there are people that look like me that you can go and sit down and have conversations with, that have went to school, that have studied, and they know a little bit of more how you can dig in and how you can work with those things. So I thank you for your advocacy and what you do in that capacity. I also have family members that live with sickle cell. I've lost a couple family members from sickle cell. And I need to find out for myself, and I need to do more research. But I think that my family, there's a trait that is carried by my family, because I do have other cousins that have been diagnosed with the trait. So I know that it's something that it's within my family, because we've had several cousins, first cousins, second cousins, that I know that have dealt with that disease. And lupus is another one that is also in my family. My mother passed away from complications of lupus. I know my grandmother had lupus, as well as I have an aunt that is living with lupus right now, and a niece. So I know what it's like. So I try to educate myself on that as well, so that I can be a support system to my niece, because she was my firstborn. So
My niece
I
has
kind
that
of,
too. My niece has lupus also.
so
Yeah,
yeah.
it is something. It's chronic conditions, and that was the one thing that I saw as a parallel to mental health is sickle cell. So I saw the parallels, because you know what, like you said, people don't know what's going on. If you're sometimes you might be having some mental health issues, and people don't know what it is until it's bad. Same thing with my daughter. She looks the picture of health until she doesn't. And it's chronic. You don't ever know when it's going to happen. It just does. But I'm really, proud of you. And I hope that other people are also listening. We can do the work. But what's more important is that we need to support each other.
Right, right. And I'm so thankful for my support system. I have an amazing support system. I have a prayer group. We get up every morning at 5 a.m. and we're on that prayer call. And when someone is going through, we're able to pick up the phone and call and have conversations. And it's nothing like having that. But I'm also proud of the work that you do within the community. Social worker, an attorney. You've also a judge, and I know that takes a lot in giving back to the community and being that example that a lot of us need to see. Because we don't see a lot of us in those capacities, but the I can say over the last maybe 10 years, I've seen a lot more of us stepping up and, taking on these roles and really being active within our community. But I applaud you for doing that and being a leader that, our little brown girls and our little brown boys can look up and say, hey, if Miss JJ can do it, I can do it too. So I thank you for that.
I appreciate that. And I just want to tell your audience, it does, we all need to step up. And the reason why I'm able to be in this role, I am a magistrate. I'm appointed, I'm not elected. Because my judge, her name is Tanya R. Jones. She is the first African American judge in the history of our court, and she wasn't elected until 2017, which says to me that in our community there's a lot of work that needs to be done. But she stepped up, and when she became a leader, she made sure that she brought me with her so that we can do the work and do right by the people in our community. And it is important that we show our young people that you can do whatever you want to do. But, when I say that, you can do whatever you want to do because we're going to be behind you. We're going to help you. We got to help each other. And that's the only way any of us are going to survive. And one of the things that you said that's so important is prayer is really important. My book is really, really, my books and my novels are very real. I'm not going to say that for some people it can be a trigger. I want to give that warning because the things in it are things that happen to people for real. But what we need to do is pray. Prayer helps. When you pray, you release angels. We are, that come down to help you. And we help each other. And if, their stigma would stop us from being able to get the help we need. And the reason why there's, people, when they're stigmatized, it basically creates prejudice, which creates discrimination. So we need to understand that these are, all of us are dealing with things. And what you just said, you were dealing with, Queen Angela, I just want to be clear. In the mental health world, we call that the CEO disease. Because more successful people who are CEOs suffer with mood swings. So that might be one thing that you're dealing with, but there may be a byproduct that you're brilliant. Look what you're doing. You're thinking outside the box and you're brilliant. So sometimes, we got to take the good with the bad. But what we need to do more than anything is love on each other and support each other.
Exactly. That's most importantly, that we are there for each other because there may be an area where I'm weak, but you may be strong in. And you can assist in that area because I can tell you I sit on a lot of panels over on TikTok, and a lot of them are law panels. We do case talk is the part that I go into. We advocate for those that have been wrongfully overly incarcerated. Right now we are advocating for Nolan Wells family. We're advocating for Carmelo Anthony. And it's just so much. And I'll be the first to tell you that I don't know a lot about the law. I didn't know a lot about the law, but sitting on these panels and willing to listen, willing to take notes, willing to just sit down in the comments and learn. I've learned so much over the last 18 months, 19 months now, about laws in Texas. And now I want to tell people that it's very important that you know your local laws, that you know how to protect yourself. You know your rights, and it is important that we are teaching these to our kids. We shouldn't wait till they get in trouble before we start learning about these things. We should know about these things before trouble even approaches, so we know how to deal with it. I'm excited because one of the ladies on our prayer call, her daughter just graduated from, oh my God, Thurgood Marshall Law School in Texas. She just took the bar in July. So I think she said she would have her results back in October.
Well,
So I'm waiting. I'm waiting for those results. And she told me, she said, Miss Angela, she said, you need to go to law school because she said the passion that you have and the way I hear you talk about these cases, she said, you know some stuff that I didn't even know. And she was like, you should go to law school. I said, well, when you get your law degree and you get your office, I say, I'll come and I'll sit under you and learn under you. But I definitely have thought about it.
I
But
think
I'm in
you should
school
do
right
it.
now.
I think you should do it. And you know what? What you just said was the most important like advice you can give people. Unfortunately, I just want to be clear, as a magistrate, I'm not allowed to comment on any cases that are happening in the news. So that's the reason
Hmm.
why, even though I may have an opinion, I'm not allowed to voice it due to my
Right.
position. But this is what I can say. You live in the United States of America. This is your country too. Everybody should know how their government works: federal, local, state. You need to know how your local government work better than you do your federal government. These people have
Right.
control over your life. If you don't understand the power of your vote, how important it is, I'm just going to tell this really quick story. When my son was young, I introduced him to this friend that I had. This friend was a little bit older than me. His parents put him, with the Martin Luther King marches, and they had children, as part of it because they thought if they had the children, people wouldn't sick dogs on them or hurt them. Well, they did sick dogs on them. And this gentleman got bit in his private parts, because he was trying to make sure we can vote. I tell my son, anytime you think you don't want to vote, I want you to think about him. And my son says, you know what? That really resonated with him. We have people who put their bodies on the line, their lives on the line, to give us a right that it is our fundamental right. And then you see people who don't even take advantage of it. And then when things go bad, they go, well, why are things bad? Because you didn't do your part. We all got to
Right.
work together. We need to make sure that we have candidates who represent our interests, our communities. I'm very passionate, as you can see, about how I believe
Yes.
this because I just, I'm not going to tell you which way to vote because I'm not allowed to do that. But if you
Right.
don't vote, then how can you complain? How can you grieve? How can you be upset about things that aren't going the way you think they should when you didn't even bother to participate in your process?
Right. All you got to do is do the research. All you got to do is research. Today you can go Google. You can Google the candidates. You can chat GPT. You can look up all of the information you need. It's right there in front of you. It's right there in front of you. All you got to do is be willing to do the work. And go out and be a part of the things that are happening within your community. You can go to the city council, you can go to the county council, you can go to all of these meetings because they are open to the public. You can go sit in these courtrooms and look at the judicial process taking place before your eyes.
It's an open
And then,
courtroom. It's mandated. Everybody, you can come and see, just like you said, but this is what we have to combat. People are saying things like, oh, my vote doesn't matter. Your vote does matter. If you get any kind of benefits, if you get any kind of services, if you don't participate in your own process and they cut your benefits, they cut your services, that's because you didn't do what you should have done. This is our country too. People die so that people who look like me and people who look like you, Queen Angela, can stand in a ballot box and cast their vote. What's happening is the things that people work so hard for are being rolled back because we have not participated. Now, part of it is they're keeping us distracted. Get off all this social media and do what Queen Angela just suggested and go and learn about your community and about what's happening so you can make sure that you get your benefits and you get your services. People are distracted. They so busy trying to make money Now, some of it is we got to make money so we can live, but some of it is for a bunch of stupid material things that we probably don't even need. Okay? Um, they're distracting us. They're distracting us so that we're losing everything. I hope all the young people that are your audience, I hope you guys are really listening. I hope you're listening so that there is a legacy for you in the future. Okay, so we may not even have a legacy if we keep this up.
Right. And to encourage them that you don't have to wait until you're older. You can go and learn these different things. They have programs. They have different programs. I know in my little small city, they have the tours that you can go into the courtroom. You can take these little tests. You can be a part of the police department, a junior officer, just different things. You can be a junior court official where you can learn the process of the judicial system, where you can learn the process of being an officer and how the police department runs and different things like that. As long as it don't violate the security of the courts and the security of the police department and stuff. You know, they have these different programs, but you have to be willing to go into these programs. And then they have all types of different things that you can get involved in. You can learn how to be an entrepreneur. You can learn about banking. You can learn about budgeting. You can learn about a lot of different things, how to become a homeowner. You don't have to wait till you are an adult, till you out here. You can start. I've seen so many kids start businesses, you know, and they're not teaching our kids how to be entrepreneurs. What they're teaching them is how to go into the workforce and work for others. They're not teaching them to be dreamers and to explore the gifts and talents that they have.
I agree.
So
And you know what? It's
I,
us as a community, though. You know what? These are our children. These are our children. And so, like you said, Queen Angela, encouragement is everything. We need to, be there to lift our young people, make them know that they can be anything that they want to be. I think that's the reason why I've been able to aspire to my dreams because my parents, even before, my dad died when I was 8, but I still do remember him telling me I can be anything that I wanted to be. And just quickly to share a story, the reason why I wanted to be a social worker is because when I was 15, my peer committed suicide. She was African American. And back in those days, we didn't, you didn't see very many young African American people killing themselves. And I felt a shift in my universe, and we had like the social workers come in and they talked to us, and we realized that she had planned this, but we just didn't recognize the signs. And I decided right then and there that I never wanted a young person to ever feel the way she must have felt. And I dedicated my life to my community. And it changed the trajectory of what I decided to do with my life. And all of us have things that happen that can inspire us to, make a difference in our world. And that inspired me. And that's why I wanted to use my novels to, tell a story that people can relate to and learn from it.
Well, I definitely thank you for that. I thank you for all that you're doing, and I thank you that you took the opportunity to take time to put it in those novels, to put them down on paper so that other people can read about it, so other people can engage and see what's happening within the communities. It may not be happening directly in your community, but it's happening around you. And sometimes we need to see these things before it happens. Before it happens. So I thank you for bringing awareness to all of the things that you touch on inside of those novels. I want you to share with the audience how they can get those novels. And if you would give us just a quick overview of your novels so that we can grab them.
All right, this is my first novel, The Anniversary. And my novels are about a family, Granville and Juliet Stubbs. They're professionals. They live in Cleveland, Ohio. One of them gets some disturbing news, and it awakens an underlying mental health issue and all the different things the family goes through. The reason why I named it the anniversary is I want people to understand that like everybody has an anniversary of something they're dealing with. So I'm going to give a national example. 9/11 is a national anniversary. Most of us know where we were on 9/11 and what we were doing exactly when 9/11 hit. And every year we celebrate that, or we acknowledge that, we commemorate that. That's what my second book is called, The Commemoration. But I want people to know that you may not know that I'm going through something because this is an anniversary of something that happened to me. Somebody passed away. Somebody that, I lost a job on this day. You don't know what I'm dealing with. But what we need to do is give each other grace because you don't know what people are dealing with. And then my last novel is called The Revelation. This is my newest novel that came out last year. You can get my books wherever books are sold, but you can also go to my website so you can get an autographed copy of my books at www.novelistjjwinston.com. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Everything is the same address, Novelist JJ Winston. And I really appreciate you, Queen Angela, for having me because this has just been such an honor. And I am
Well, I
very.
thank you. I thank you for your time. I thank you for just what you're doing. You're definitely creating and leaving a legacy, and I truly appreciate that because you're giving, like I said earlier, you're giving our black and brown boys and girls an opportunity to see legacy in the making, and to see and to know that they too can have that same opportunity to walk into those things that you're walking in. And I thank you for always being willing to come on and to talk about those things. If there was one thing that you could say to those babies, those brown kids, what would you say to them to encourage them to tap into their gifts and talents and to begin to create their legacy, that they don't have to wait, that they can start now?
You know what? I agree. One of the things I did after I told you about my peer killing herself, I started to volunteer my time, even when I was a teenager. And you can give your time, but you can also do what Queen Angela suggested. I want to tell you, young people, something. For me and Queen Angela, when we were young and we wanted to learn something, we had to go through this whole big thing. We had to go to the library. We had to write down some call numbers and figure out what books might have the information we want. And then we had to go pull the books. And then we had to go in the books and figure out if the information that we were looking for was there. You all don't have to do that. You pull out your computer that's on your phone and you put in some words, and it gives you 1,000 articles about whatever it is you're looking for. It gives you videos about whatever it is you're looking for. It gives you audio about whatever it is you're looking for. There is no reason for us not all to be intelligent or smart. But when you get
Right.
information, make sure you vet it because we also do have some people putting some false information out. Vet the information. Everything on the internet ain't right. Everything on Chat GPT ain't right. Make sure you vet what you're getting and make sure it's good. But at the end of the day, use your opportunities to continue to self educate, learn, learn. It's there. It's free. Pick up a book, read. If you don't want to
That's
read it,
it.
listen to it. Because we know my book's on audio too. I got to mention first book is on audio, so you can get it on at Audibles. But you can also listen to the information. But it is there. It's there. So take advantage of it.
Right. And as far as a lot of fake information, you can reference those sites, because most of the things now, they have sites attached to them where you can actually go and check them out and see, vet them, make sure that they are credible resources. You can run them through fact checker, and
Absolutely.
make sure that they are some good resources. And I tell you, the older they are, make sure that you're checking it. And
Absolutely.
I remember the days that we didn't have a lot of opportunities. We had to go pull out those big old uh,
Card catalogs.
those,
Remember the
and
catalog,
then
the
at
periodic
home you had them
index.
big
It was
old
the periodic
encyclopedias.
index.
Them encyclopedias. You know how they used
Oh,
to go
right.
around and sell encyclopedias, and every Brown family had one. Because I know we had a shelf full of them,
That's
two
right.
shelves full of them from A to Z.
Because remember when you would go to the grocery store, this is for you young people, this is how it used to be for us. They would have one letter, it'd be 99 cents that week. Okay? So my son, when he was growing up, because he's one of the kids who got the benefit of being in the world before the internet and then after, I had A through J for the encyclopedias, and I said, when you got to pick a subject in school, make sure you pick from A to J, because that's how we got our information.
I'm telling you. And then when they start giving them out with the green stamps, we could
Right.
collect the stamps and go in and trade them in. Yeah, I remember those days. I remember we had the whole, we had A to Z, and then we even had the other little set that went along with it. Yeah, it was like two different sets.
Right.
I mean, that's
The
how we learned
supplemental
about.
set, right, Queen Angela?
Right.
It was the supplement that went with the original set. Okay. That they gave you some more information in A to Z after you got the
Yeah.
original set.
Yes, and they had a lot of reference stuff where you can go and reference other stuff, and then they would give you books and different other stuff that you can pull. But I tell you, those were the days. But now it's so much easier.
It
So
is.
there should be no excuse. There should be no
Absolutely.
excuses. No excuses at all. And even in the schools, they're now making it available for you to even get a associate degree before you even graduate high school.
Absolutely.
If you're willing to put in the work. You know,
Absolutely.
you can be halfway done with a degree by the time you graduate,
And save
and you don't
yourself
have to
a lot of
spend.
money.
Exactly. That's why I've been telling all these kids that I come in contact with, get in the dual program. Get in the
Absolutely.
dual program. Take you some college classes while you're taking your high school classes. Don't go home early. Stay in there. Get them extra credits. Don't graduate early. Go on. Stay with your class. Get your little senior year. And but a lot of people that I told that they graduated with associate degrees and only had to go to school for 2 years to
Yep.
get their bachelor's degrees,
That's
and
so
yet everybody else still going 4 years. They already out in the workforce. They already building their businesses. They're already building their legacy, whatever it is. So I encourage them. I tell you, every person I come in contact with, I'm spreading the word. You know, I'm not a gatekeeper. Information that I get,
That's
I'm
right.
giving it out. I'm giving it
Absolutely.
out because you know what? If I leave here tomorrow, I can't take none of this that he's put on the inside of me. But I want to be able to have left something that somebody is going to be able to help them throughout their journey.
Absolutely.
To stay on this journey we call life. Because we only get one chance at this. And I can't take none of this with me. Because when I shut down, when I close, all this stuff going to be buried or cremated or however my family choose to dispose of me. It's going to stop with me. But I tell you, I want people to say that she educated, she empowered, and she encouraged those that she came in contact with.
I think we all have a purpose. And this is what me and my one friend say. If you don't live up to your purpose, you're going to have to come right back here again because we call this purgatory. Okay, so we don't know what's going to happen when we leave here, but I want to make sure that I have met my purpose. And I think I'm doing that. And one more thing I'd like to encourage your audience to do if they can, I just want to put in a plug about blood. We're having a critical shortage of blood. People like my daughter who have sickle cell disease, many of them need transfusions. And I need you all to understand, particularly from brown people, um, people of color, when people with sickle cell are getting blood transfusions, it's best if they get them from people in their community. So I just really want to give a plug and encourage people, if you can, please do. And the American Red Cross is giving out a lot of good gifts for just giving your blood because it is such a critical shortage.
And plasma as well.
Absolutely.
Yes. So definitely, I thank you for sharing that. I thank you for sharing that, and I just want you to know that anytime you want to, stop by and share, I'm getting back out here. I had stopped doing a lot of the interviews and stuff. I was just behind the camera, but everybody's been saying, Where you been at? Where you been at?" So I'm gonna start getting back out here and helping my people get their brands out there and get some visibility because for some reason they think I'm good at that. So I want to, help my people. I want to be able to pour into those that are in my circle, those that are in my community, to be able to help them with the things that they're doing. Again, I can't thank you enough for stopping by and sharing. But before we go, I want you to tell them again how they can get in contact with you because I always want them to be able to reach out and support what you're doing.
I first want to say thank you because I appreciate you giving me this platform and for pouring into me. I appreciate you so. You can find my novels on my website at www.novelistjjwinston.com. You can find me anywhere books are sold, Amazon, um, Barnes and Nobles, wherever books are sold, my novels are there. JJ Winston. Um, I have three novels and a workbook. I failed to mention my workbook. It does have reading questions for the first novel. It has exercises meant to help people who are lay people understand mental health better and be able to advocate for their themselves and their family and friends and know what they're right. And again, I want to thank you for allowing me to be here. And it is such a privilege and it's an honor.
Well, before I let you go, I do have something for you. I do remember hearing you say that you wanted one of those songs the last time you were on Patrice's podcast. So I have prepared something for you.
Oh my
Oh, yeah. We came to give honor. We came to live legacy. Somebody clap your hands. Hey! She rose with fire, she rose with grace, a healing voice in a hurting place. From courtroom halls to the written page, she turned her wisdom into change. She saw the pain they tried to hide, stood for the broken, stood by their side. With every story, with every stand, she put compassion in God's hands. She didn't come just to make a name. She came to break the chains of shame. Mental health, justice, family, truth. She's been a witness of what love can do. Rise, legacy, rise. Let your light touch the sky. Born of 26, chosen to shine. Rise, legacy, rise. With faith in your eyes. JJ Winston, we honor your way. You're changing lives every day. Author, advocate, judge with a heart. She brings hope where the healing starts. She speaks for minds misunderstood and calls the wounded back to good. She wrote through trauma, truth and pain, turned silent tears into holy rain. The anniversary, the story's flow, helping families learn and grow. She told the world, don't hide, speak out. She gave the silent a holy shout. No more stigma, no more fear. Healing and help are welcome here.
That was just so awesome. I'm about to be in tears. That was so wonderful.
I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
send it to you.
Thank you. That was just
Yes,
so
ma'am.
great. Just awesome.
Well,
That is
thank you for all that you do.
Thank you for having me and thank you for doing that, Queen Angela. That is just wonderful. I can't
Thank
stop
you.
smiling. You made my day, girl. Thank you.
Well, I hope the rest of your day is just as amazing as you are, and be blessed. And thank you again for stopping by and sharing. I appreciate all that you do.
Right. Bye,
Amen.
everybody. Bye, Queen Angela.
Thank you. Have a great evening.
You too, dear.